Nigerians are richer, but Ugandans are happier in 2026. The billionaire's trap versus the secret soft life. Today's episode, we're talking about two great African countries, Nigeria and Uganda. Hello guys, welcome to Solid Finance Podcast and it's Finance with Abbas. Before I continue, do well to like, do well to share, do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more finance contents from us. Today we're not doing banter. We are doing the math. We're going into details. Let's look at it this way. Nigeria is that rich uncle that is very loud, but his G-Wagon keeps breaking down every single time. Uganda is that quiet cousin who is living his life slow and quiet. Did you know that Uganda is Africa's #1 coffee exporter? They took over from Ethiopia last year, 2025, and this year, Uganda is doing great exports for their country. They earn $2 billion just by selling their coffee and exporting it to other countries. Here's the funny thing. Nigeria makes more money in a day than Uganda will ever make in a month. I know, most people are shocked, but here's the tricky thing. A Ugandan salary can buy him a meal for the whole month, while a Nigerian salary can only buy him meal for just half the day. Nigeria and Uganda are two great nations on the African map with very different stories, yet with similar challenges. Nigeria is among Africa's largest economies, while Uganda is still struggling to grow out of the smaller space. Nigeria has a population of over 200 million people, and also Nigeria is the most populous country in the whole of Africa. While Uganda has a population of 50 to 52 million people, Uganda has the fastest growing population with one of the youngest median ages in the world. Nigeria's median age is from 19 years, while Uganda's median age is from 18 years, and they have a very great youthful labor force. The youth bulge can be a demographic dividend or a challenge depending on the jobs, educations, and opportunities. Let's look at the economic size by GDP and by growth. Nigeria's GDP by nominal is $252 billion. And Nigeria is ranked 54th position globally. Uganda's GDP by nominal is ranked $53.9 billion. Now, this makes Nigeria's GDP nominal 5 times larger than that of Uganda. Let's look at the growth pattern between these two countries. Nigeria's recent reform aims to stabilize their economy and push their growth above 4% annually, while Uganda's growth has been stronger percentage-wise, coming from a smaller base. Remember, a big economy doesn't always mean average citizens are better off. That is what brings us to GDP per capita and the living cost data of Nigeria and Uganda. Nigeria's GDP per capita for a person is $1,084 per person, and for Uganda, GDP per capita for a person is $1,078 per person. Despite Nigeria having a much larger GDP, it is just so sad that Nigeria and Uganda have almost the same GDP per capita for each person. Now, this is good news for Uganda and this is bad news for Nigeria, because as Nigeria's population is much, you would expect our GDP per capita to be higher than that of Uganda, but the difference is not so big. This is my cue to the government to build more companies to help Nigerians generate more revenue. We have the numbers. Let's make good use of them. For the purchasing power, PPP, Nigeria is higher than Uganda. That is $9,000 versus $3,200. And that's because Nigeria has more economic activities than in Uganda because of the population. Don't be deceived. The nominal GDP per capita can mask the actual living condition of a person in a country. Let's take a look at the currency and the exchange rate. Nigeria uses Naira while Uganda uses Ugandan shilling. The both currencies trade below global expectations, and as such, their currencies are not being used for global transactions. This is partly because of inflation and weak FX market. Let's see what $10 can do in these two countries, Nigeria and Uganda. $10 can buy approximately 15 to 20 liters of fuel in Nigeria. Meanwhile, in Uganda, $10 can buy only 8 to 12 liters of fuel. $10 rent is highly unequal for a month. Meanwhile, in Uganda, $10 is possible for basic room in rural area. $10 can buy more liters of fuel in Nigeria, and that's because we have the oil. But in Uganda, they're buying everything, and as such, that's why it is more costly over there. But to rent a place in Nigeria with $10, it's impossible. You can only get a hotel or you just loan a space. Meanwhile, you can use $10 in Uganda to rent a house for a month in the rural areas, or if you're sharing a room in the city. Now, let's take a look at the inflation and cost of living for the Nigerian and the Ugandan. Nigeria has high inflation, over 30%. Uganda has a much lower inflation, around 3 to 4%. Let's take a look at the cost of living data in Nigeria and in Uganda. We're going to be looking at the rent and the food costs. For you to be able to rent a house in Nigeria, you will need 450,000 naira. That's approximately $550. While Uganda, Kampala city center, you would need 900,000 Uganda shillings. That's approximately $240. You have seen that it is relatively low. You cannot compare the cost of living in Nigeria to that of Uganda. That's to show you that even as Uganda is a small country, their economy is able and stable enough for everybody because inflation is low. Meanwhile, in Nigeria, everything is high. Let's take a look at the food. An average monthly food costs 120,000 naira. That's approximately $150. Meanwhile, average food cost in Uganda is 400,000 Uganda shillings. That is $110. Nigeria has deregulated petrol prices per liter. It is currently from 900 naira to 1,000 naira. That's approximately $0.6 for a liter of fuel. Meanwhile, in Uganda, it is 4,950 Ugandan shillings. That's approximately $1.2. Let's look at passport power and visa freedom. According to global indexes, the Nigerian passport has a visa free or visa on arrival for 57 countries. According to global visa indexes, it is shown that Uganda's passport has the free visa or visa on arrival for 66 to about 71 countries. This means that the Ugandan passport has more leverage than that of Nigeria. Let's take a look at the major food in Nigeria and the major foods in Uganda. Anywhere you go to in Nigeria, you would always see this 4 food: egusi soup, pounded yam, jollof rice, and suya. They are found everywhere in Nigeria. While in Uganda, their popular food is Rolex, that is chapati plus eggs, matuk, that is steamed plantain, and luwombo, a celebrated local staple that is found anywhere in Uganda. List your number 1 favorite food in the comment section. Let's take a look at the global economic position of Nigeria and Uganda. Nigeria sits among Africa's top 5 largest economies by GDP. Uganda is a small economy, but of recent, they have showed higher growth rates. Nigeria's large economy offers great scale. Uganda's fast growth offers momentum. Now, I'm here to answer your question: who is catching up between Nigeria and Uganda? I'm going to mention the advantages of these both countries, and I'm going to voice out my own opinion on who is catching up. Nigeria's advantage is the size, the diversified services sector, the large domestic market. Meanwhile, Uganda's advantage is lower inflation, low cost of living, and rapid growth rates from a smaller base. Nigeria's economy could catch up faster if our inflation is being controlled. Uganda has a smaller economic weight, but they try to make life easier and better for their citizens. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Do you think Nigeria is better than Uganda, or do you think Uganda is better than Nigeria? Nigeria's size gives it strength, and Uganda's size gives it stability. Until next time, bye for now.